CNN Business said this: institutional investors purchased a net 13.2 million shares of General Motors during the quarter ended June, and they now own 83.4% of the total General Motors shares outstanding. This majority interest is a greater percentage than is typical for companies in the motor vehicle industry, and highlights that the smart money sees this stock as an important holding. Well, my friends, let's have a look and see if the smart money has actually made any money investing in General Motors over the past decade. Well, let's see, in fact, what would have happened if you'd invested, say, $1,000 in General Motors 10 years ago. What would have happened to your money? Would it have increased or would it have actually decreased? Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Mary Barra is at it again. She still claims General Motors will surpass Tesla in vehicle sales in 2025, even though GM is not coming anywhere near close to hitting their promised electric vehicle sales targets this year. In fact, Wall Street analysts are saying that GM will be selling twice as many EVs as Tesla in 2029. Twice as many. Hard to believe. But apparently the smart money is investing in GM. So should you and I consider doing the same? Well, first of all, let's have a look at what Auto Evolution is saying about that idea. They say that GM's electric vehicle ambitions are actually getting smaller by the day, and nobody is in fact asking Mary Barra why that is. They're firing Herbert Diess, but Mary Barra is getting a free pass. That's true. General Motors is one of the bullier car makers when it comes to claiming they're going to overtake Tesla, even though it lags behind the competition in this regard by a very long way. Despite all its bold statements about surpassing Tesla by 2025, GM appears to be taking steps away from this goal rather than towards it. Now, General Motors just held its Q2 2022 earnings call on Tuesday of last week, with the big news being a whopping 40% drop in profit compared with Q2 of 2021. And it doesn't look like the pain is going to be ending anytime soon. But before the news hit the fan, so to speak, General Motors set off a smokescreen with a triumphant announcement about securing the battery materials needed for a future EV production onslaught. It was precisely this announcement that drew attention to General Motors' EV plans, which maybe aren't quite as ambitious as Mary Barra is trying to make out. We know that Mary Barra spent most of this year pledging to surpass Tesla as the EV leader. I mean, they claim they're already the EV leader, but in the same sentence they're saying they're going to surpass Tesla in 2025. Seems like a contradiction to me, but anyway. Barra said in January, "We want to lead the world in EVs, full stop." Well, wanting to and actually doing, they're two different things. However, during an interview with CBS, GM pledged tens of billions to the goal of becoming the new EV leader by building battery plants, EV plants, and everything that it takes to churn out millions of EVs per year. Later, Barra announced that General Motors would overtake Tesla by mid-decade. However, by May, General Motors had actually changed the story. They said they weren't going to overtake Tesla worldwide, just in North America. So they clarified now. It wasn't global now. Now they're just planning on overtaking Tesla in North America. So that's more of a reasonable goal, or is it? At GM's Q2 earnings call, something very interesting happened. GM announced it has signed supply agreements, right, to provide enough materials to build millions of EVs. But it also announced it had just gotten a loan for $2.5 billion US from the US government. My question is, why is that necessary? GM now has contractual commitments secured with strategic partners for all battery raw material to support our goal of 1 million units of EV capacity by the end of 2025, said Jeff Morrison, GM Vice President, Global Purchasing and Supply Chain. Wait, what? That's right. GM aims now for 1 million EVs in annual capacity in 2025. This figure was further confirmed in a slide in GM's Q2 earnings deck. We have binding agreements securing all battery raw materials, supporting our goal of 1 million units of annual capacity in North America in 2025, reads the slide. It's a lot less ambitious than we thought General Motors was claiming. And obviously it's at a level, a certain number, only 1 million, which clearly means it's unlikely they really will actually overtake Tesla in 2025. We know that Tesla Fremont has an annual production capacity of 650,000 vehicles right now. And Giga Texas is listed in the Q2 shareholders deck with a total of more than 250,000 EVs. This means Tesla is now with the US production where General Motors wants to be in 2025, right? That means Tesla's going to do nothing for 3 years. Nothing. In my view, this doesn't sound anything remotely like taking over Tesla. It sounds like trying to meet where they're going to be next year. Most likely, Giga Texas will get to at least 500,000 units of production capacity next year, with a huge possibility to double that capacity by 2025. It's also possible that Gigafactory Texas could be copy and pasted to another location somewhere else in the US by the time we get to 2025, meaning Tesla could even have 3 factories in the United States by then and be producing millions of EVs in North America. So what do we think about the market? Do investors actually believe Mary Barra? Do they believe that General Motors will in fact have any chance of overtaking Tesla? Well, I suggest their stock price says the answer to that question is a big fat no. GM stock price has crashed from a high of over $60 US only a few months ago to now around $35 US. Now the crazy thing is that if you had bought General Motors stock all the way back in November of 2013, 9 years ago, well, you would have actually lost money. The share price back then was $38 US. Today, it's at precisely 36. If you include the average 2% annual inflation that America had over that 9-year period, well, you would have lost actually a lot of money. Now, if you look at GM stock chart, you can see that they hit a high of $60 US back in April of 2021. That's when GM were making some pretty big claims about EVs. Now the stock price has collapsed down to $36 US. Why? I'll tell you why. One reason. Investors don't believe General Motors, or at least they don't believe Mary Barra's claims about what General Motors is going to do. If they did, the stock price wouldn't be below where it was at in 2013. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Have a great day. Bye-bye.